Let's pump up the fucking jam. And then I'm going to have to turn it down right in a second. Peace, welcome back. Secret House Against Tokyo Vase, Hip Hop, Art and Culture Conversations. Where's my glasses? Yes. Shout out to all of the people that we rock with. You guys know those people. We'll talk about them again at the end. But yeah, mostly non-review hip-hop album discussions. Today we're back again, me and Jet, my powerful co-host. We're doing a little drinking today. Shout out to us in Tokyo. It's a beautiful spring day here.
I should clarify because I feel like there's associations that I didn't even know what White Claw was until about 40 minutes ago. But that's what we have here right now.
Yeah, it was gifted to my wife by somebody who has access to American products, and because my wife is dope, they gave us a bunch of them. And I was waiting to drink them with somebody else, so now I've forced Jet to drink watermelon-flavored White Claw because the stigma
fuck you say about my mom,
brother. Yeah, did you see that? The Islam Emporium? That's happening tomorrow, but yeah.
When in box, he looked very good, but against grappler, he failed every time. So I feel sorry for guy.
We have to check this. We have to check his jiu-jitsu. Anyways, in the background, you guys can hear the album that we're reviewing today is by Sleep Sinatra and Bloomcycle. The album is called Memory. 17 tracks, 35 minutes. This released a few weeks back in May 10th. The version I got is actually the Bandcamp version, which we purchased thanks to you guys, our Patreon supporters. We always like to take that money and put it back into the pockets of the artists who help uphold this culture. Every month we redirect some of that money, so if you want to help us, help them, help us, help them, then go ahead and put that down. And it also perpetuates our clandestine plan to, I don't know, do things here.
It's like a pyramid scheme, but good.
Yeah. But yeah, so shout out. It says that this is an album meant to explore the cycle of identity, death, and rebirth as we carry on through time. 3 years in the making, dense with intention, saturated with psychedelia. The most artful project from the ever-developing MC, Sleep Sinatra, arrives as ornate and defined as it could be. All the tracks are done by Bloomcycle, who I believe went by Big Flowers. And it is mixed and mastered by Televangel. Shout out to the god. We've got some MC features on here by Primrock, who we're going to be reviewing the new Shrapnel after this. We've got Sketch 185. Milk is on here. Old Grape God. Yo OG, who reached out to us, I think, the first year that we started doing Secret House, and he's been on my radar. I've been following him and rocking with his music, and so when he puts out another project, maybe you'll see it on here as well. We've got I don't know how to pronounce this, DESD, Desde, is that it? And also
Since in Spanish, right?
Yeah, and also a friend of the show, incredible MC artist himself, Shamar. What we do when we do an album by an artist, I'm gonna put it on some beats actually, because in the background
this
it's
album
quite
is
loud.
a lot.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
maybe not background music.
What kind of beats?
Sure.
What kind of beats should we do? More wavy bagels.
Yeah.
Let's bring it back to bagel season, man. We've been rocking with wavy bagel beats.
Unless you got some Bloomcycle on there, yeah. Sounds.
All right, I'm not gonna waste too much time. I'm just gonna go to the bagels.
We got bagels for bagels. So.
Yeah, indeed. Shout out to Wavy Bagels. Check out that review. Easy. Him and Drive By. Wonderful album.
One of the albums of the year for me, yeah.
One of the things that we like to do on this show when we're discussing an artist that we haven't discussed on the channel before is to let you guys know how we're familiar with them, how deep we're into the catalog, if we know them at all or whatnot. So how do you know? How do you feel? How do you think?
I know Sleep Sinatra because you've mentioned it before, and he's appeared on things that we've reviewed before, presumably. But first time.
Okay.
To actually listen to a project.
You may recall several months ago, maybe last year, I was like, yo, do you want to do this album? And I showed you the cover, and there's like a Gundam. It's like a mech.
He was like Goku and Naruto and Evangelion at the same time.
I went back to look at the cover again, and it was not that egregious with the anime things. Okay. We thought that he had Saiyan armor on, but actually it's just a part of like the mech and shit. Okay. And to be fair, Jed and I are, like unabashed assholes, and we make short decisions like that. So we saw the album cover of one of Sleep's albums, and we decided against it just because we were having one of those type of days. But that album is actually, it's called Battle of the Gods or something like this,
Battle
right?
of the Angels.
Battle of the Angels. Yeah, actually, that album's fire. That album's great. Sleep has been on joints with AJ Suede, who we love, and actually, yeah. We just didn't review that one because we were being assholes that day. But I'm also
now that you've watched Evangelion, I'm kind of like, hey, maybe we could have reviewed the Evangelion joint. But yeah,
we could have. Yeah, I finished Evangelion this week actually. But yeah, I wasn't very familiar with Sleep. I kept a distance because, to be honest with you, I actually thought that he was Sleep, the MC from Old Dominion, the Seattle crew from way back, and I thought he just tacked on something new to his name. And not that I dislike Sleep, because I had liked a lot of Sleep. I kind of, in the early aughts, Old Dominion crew, I was really familiar with a lot of their work and rock with them heavy, but I just didn't get to it for whatever reason. But comes to find out, Sleep Sinatra is actually a poet MC artist out of Nebraska, Lincoln, Nebraska, and he's been active in the underground, independent, avant-garde, abstract, experimental hip-hop circuit for several years, at least a decade. He's got a lot of collaborations with people that we rock with, people in that ecosphere. He's worked with Slum Village, Count Bass D, Stick Figures, Obliv, August Fanon, Makami, and more. So yeah, this is actually, I would say that this is the first time that I really sat with Sleep Sinatra, other than just putting it on, rocking with it, and feeling good about it, and going back to a track. This is the first time I've thought about his art, what he's trying to achieve, and kind of the underlying message to a lot of his lyrics and that content. You two then. What about Bloomcycle?
First time.
Okay, me too. I'm not sure about him. I don't know much about Bloomcycle or Big Flowers. Apparently I'm an outlier on this, because some of the people on the Rap Music Plug podcast were like, yeah, Big Flowers, and I was like, I'm gonna pretend like I know that. I've been around for a long time, but I'm not.
Big Flowers and Grand Mega Flowers, right there. Big Flowers, Grand Flowers.
Word. Yeah, but yeah, so let's get right into the album, man. This one. Oh, what do you say? Sleep Sinatra was on the Fish That Saved Portland,
the milk joint.
The milk joint. He was on Arc Flashington.
He was, yes.
And he's also on that new Delete glitch that I just shared a song. Okay, so yeah.
Peep that video if you haven't.
Peep that again, if you already peeped it. But yeah, let's get right into the album, man. You want me to go off first?
Yo, yeah, this album's really fucking good, actually.
Okay, I was like, what is going on here? Yeah.
No, this album had me like so many times. Like, I was discussing this with our friend Deza the other day. I was like, yo, bro, music theory isn't real. Like, if you don't want to do a thing, you just do a thing because you think it sounds cool, you think it sounds good, you can just do that. Like, you don't have to stick to any kind of convention. And some of the things that Bloomcycle is doing on here, where it's like, I guess some of these beats are technically in 4/4, but he's like, you know what, fuck it, we're gonna just do a measure of 13 beats, and then we're just gonna stick a 1 on the end so that Sleep can come back in on the next. Like, it doesn't make any sense, whatever. It's completely fucking arbitrary, and they stick it every single time. Like, they stick the landing 100% of the time. And this is some fucking, I don't know if I've heard anything like this before. I've heard rap in weird time signatures before. There's a few great rap tracks in weird time signatures. Odyssey, Counterclockwise is in a weird time signature. I think Jay-Z, Justify My Thug might be in a weird time signature. I don't remember off the top of my head. There's a Jay-Z joint that's in 6/4 as well.
I don't know if I've heard of Jay-Z.
Yeah, he's from New York.
Tight.
Cool guy.
Real hip-hop.
Real hip-hop.
Sure, yeah.
But you don't normally hear hip-hop in odd time signatures. This kind of just does away with that element altogether. It's like, we don't really need convention. Like, if you got bars like that, you can just say some shit.
Yeah.
And Sleep Sinatra's got bars like that, so he'll just say some shit. It doesn't. You don't need to
find a pocket on the weirdness.
It's fucking dope. I'm sold immediately.
Yeah. I'll get into my thoughts on the production, because I really do think that it does tremendously shine, and is impressive and interesting and wide and varied and just kind of amazing all around. It helps set kind of the canvas for Sleep Sinatra to get off. But we listen to so much hip hop, and I'm certain that there's a lot of artists who I haven't given enough chance, even though I've heard them before and liked them before. Yo OG for me deserves a stronger listen. Old Grape God deserves me to go back to his catalog and really focus on it. But with this Sleep Sinatra, I gotta say that this is perhaps the first Sleep album that I was like really affected by, meaning that like it hit me and I was like, oh, this motherfucker is really, really doing something. I've liked his work in the past, and I've thought that he's a perfectly dope, capable MC that deserves his accolades, and I can see why that he's working with the kind of his contemporaries are all people that we love and appreciate and rock with. But something just never really stuck with me so tremendously and hit that level of kind of like appreciation or nourishment. From the first song that I heard, it just hit me different. Like I was like, holy shit, this is crazy. It's easily, and I've heard at least 3 other Sleep projects, and this is easily my favorite one. I really fuck with these weird ass beats, and it's just amazing. For the production, I think that like none of these beats seek to capture like a wide audience, and even they strike out different from a lot of the other work that Sleep has been on in the past, and even some of his contemporaries. This is a really kind of a unique and singular production style,
yes,
even compared to like a Televangel or compared to name anybody that's doing it.
Finding a pocket on some of these beats must have been such a nightmare to do. Like I even wonder if he just like rapped over a guide track at the same BPM and then just put them over the top of the Bloomcycle beats. I don't mean to like imply anything about I doubt it, but like
because the beats all evoke a certain feeling that I feel that kind of Sleep is also meeting there too. You know?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
But
they're just that weird that you wonder like, what is the math?
It's like it has me like re-examining the music that I make, because I'm just like, again, like you don't really have to adhere to any kind of convention in order to make dope hip hop, you know. And hip hop can be, people can be very prescriptive about what is hip hop, what is real hip hop, what is not hip hop.
Real hip hop is if you say it's hip hop, then it's hip hop.
But like this is, I mean it's like, this is probably what it feels like. This is what it felt like to like listen to Hella for the first time, or to listen to
Cloud Dead
the first time. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's
not to say that they're comparable sonically, but it's kind of that moment where you're like, wait a minute, are you allowed to do that? You know what I mean? Like, wait a minute, like what is actually going on here? Is it pushing genres?
But every time that I listen, you know, every time there's like a weird flourish or like Bloomcycle lets a measure go on for like way too long and Sleep just continues to rap over it, and I'm like, wait, can you do that? And then they're just immediately like, yeah, watch us.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. Like even what he does to some of the more recognizable sample flips, because a lot of these are not maybe a lot is not the term I want to use, but a few of these are not unrecognizable sample flips. Like immediately, like my mom would recognize the sample flip.
Yeah, sure.
But kind of the
we just
the
had to feel
care
like making love sample on the
yeah, indeed.
on the Wavy Bag was joint. Like
but like what Bloomcycle is really doing on this is interesting. Like he seems to be like a person that like he's a dude that doesn't like adore the common. Like there's new chops on the old, new pulls, sequences of the unknown, like a general like kind of off kilter psychedelic Dada-esque kind of approach to the music that really make this stand out even in Sleep's like tremendous catalog. What does he have, like fucking 98 out? Like he's got so many albums, but this is it's just really strange. And like I can push people towards like similar sounding type of things, but I think Bloomcycle really gives like his production like an identity that is like really his own. I don't really know how to be like, this sounds like another person's production. This doesn't sound like something you'd get on like the Andrew, even though, or like a Sleeping Dogs, even though they kind of have similar psychedelic sensibilities. You know?
Some of those sensibilities of like, just, you know, some of these dope weird cats that we talk about on the channel. and even to an extent like the beans, like the Zwad joint. Like, it doesn't sound anything like the Zwad, but that also has like a similar irreverence towards the rules of making music.
Sure.
It's very much, but unlike the Zwad, like, or the beans joint, where it's kind of like, oh, okay, sometimes he's definitely just stream of consciousness, like saying shit over the beat, like roughly to the measure. You can tell that Sleep is actually like, you know, he's found these weird little pockets that, like, if you're not really acutely paying attention to the beat, it's like, wait, where do you even come in on something like this? I don't know any I don't know any MCs personally that I think I could give this beat and be like, yo, rap over this.
I really do like Sleep. You know, a lot of his lyrics in his work kind of have similar themes. You know, he really spits a lot of the kind of more metaphysical, spiritual rhymes that go towards like personal elevation and adjusting to the changing world. A lot of dope like life insights and just really capable skill, plus a dope rhyming voice. But it's also not like fucking corny at all. It's just like really dope raps. And well, this album really had me interested in, like, virtually every song here had me interested in his perspective and the kind of like intricacies of his bars and kind of like his presence or the person that he is, the values of who he is and what he's saying. And all of the things on this album that he's doing, Sleep very much comes across as a person who is like somebody you'd want to kick it with, somebody who is not like a toxic person, somebody who's intelligent, somebody who's witty and insightful and has like this kind of slightly off kilter perspective on things. And I really walked away from this album thinking like, damn, like, am I fucking up by thinking this is like the best Sleep project, or my like just because it's my favorite Sleep project? Something about him really works together on this for me.
Like, there are probably, I mean, I would hope that Sleep Sinatra fans haven't been as close-minded as I was when I saw the Ava like cover with the mecha and then the seat that looked like Saiyan armor. And thinking, we don't have to review this. I hope they're not as close-minded as me towards something like this, because, like, it's a challenging listen.
I wonder where other Sleep fans would rank this in his catalog, because he's got such, he's got a strong fan base of people who are really rocking with his art, and he's grown that, grassroots style and organically by just being dope. But also he seems to take chances and change up the style and meet it elsewhere. I wonder where they think this album.
I was gonna like, I wouldn't surprise me if this either sits at number one or sits right at the bottom for a lot.
Okay,
of
I can see that. Yeah.
Right. Like, I think this is probably polarizing just because of the nature of the beats on here. These aren't bangers, right?
Yeah,
these aren't things that you can just like throw on. Like, it's like try and count this.
But listen, like.
Earth speeding up, ain't no time to be needing luck. Proceed to bust, astral projection, the deeper stuff. Peep your bluff, no absolution when you speak corrupt. So if you're going through it, gotta keep it up. Living like the wax and the needle touch.
Absolutely funky off-kilter groove that's...
But there's like a pulse here, but you can't like... 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You have to kind of grab onto the word and the like kind of timing of Sleep in order to not feel completely discombobulated by the sound.
Yes,
it's like otherwise you're just like you're in a fucking funhouse mirror. You're in a funhouse of sound.
Almost like there's a level of ambition here that I kind of wish we could see try and transpose to like a concept album, like a Spirit World Field Guide type joint, in which you have because Sleep is fundamentally like guiding us through these beats, right? A lot of these beats don't like coalesce without an MC over the top of them, right? They're so surreal and psychedelic, and the measures are so like weirdly inconsistent because you have all these polyrhythms and samples coming in at weird times that like you need an MC to ground you to it. And it would be cool to see like something, and I think the sort of spiritual and esoteric elements of Sleep's rapping does that to an extent. But I would be really curious to see like a concept album in this thing as well.
It's also, a lot of these beats would be great with visuals to help ground them some, but without it being so, because they feel a bit cinematic and a bit strange, like New Worlds, but with Sleep's lyrics and also the contribution from the MCs on it really kind of plants your feet on the ground and gives you kind of an idea of what the expression is supposed to be. And that's why I was saying earlier that it sounds kind of like he must have taken these beats into mind when he was writing, because he meets a lot of them with the same energy. The next track, Origins, which features Primrock and Sketch 185, I love that beat, and like it's very like Sketch is just, you know, Sketch is a very extremely forward transgressive artist
yeah.
who is not here to fucking riddle fang you with some shit. He's gonna say it so you kind of get it precisely.
I
and
think
his
I
approach to
mentioned
that
on
is
the,
just fucking hard.
I think I mentioned on the He Left Nothing for the Swim Back, I was like, bro, why are you telling me off? But like the telling off that he dishes out on this track is like so warranted.
Oh yeah, man. What does he say? Just because it was once doesn't mean it has to keep in the culture. Where he's talking about like being an
adult men with like much younger women,
and like all of them get off
consent.
tremendously on this, but Sketch really shines on it. Sketch is so amazing. Sketch is so dope, and I can't wait till his next follow up. But go check out go check out his album with Jeff Markey.
He Left Nothing for the Swim Back.
That was incredible. Did that make your top 10?
I don't think it did, but like it could have.
It should have. It should make a lot of people's favorite albums because it's tremendous. But on this album, like,
got hit by entrapment, habitual, barely missed him.
Like the beat on this is like it pulls at you in like a nostalgia and also a pain, but also kind of like it's like blues a little bit, and without even like being like that. And the messages are so dope. Like he says, Sketch says, "Waking life is reaction video of the apocalypse." He's like, saw a woman jogging with a bat and felt like I found the missing link. She asked, "Are you trying to kill me?" I answered, "I'm only on my way home. Be safe." And his style is like, I don't do the lyrics justice because also I forgot the cadence because I just wrote down the lyrics. But here.
Waking life is reaction videos to the apocalypse. With for Pollyanna the game, politics and beauty. Spit years and fears of colors wedged between. Distrust the sports.
And I'm not going to talk about Prim too much because I have a lot to say about the new Shrapnel album.
Yeah.
You guys are going to love that. I think you will. But it's so good. The next joint, Choice Theory, the joint with Milk is almost kind of like, here, let me toss it on because we don't care about copyright, right? The joint with Milk, this joint,
if we get copyright struck, this album gets a 0 out of 10. We hate you, Sleep. We hate you and your incredible album.
Yeah. No, we don't care about any of that. But this joint, Cut Weight, featuring Milk, is kind of like more bright in 80s city pop, exuberant compared to a lot of the other moments on the album. It's like not like bogged down with like Gen X apathy yet, or like you know what I mean?
It sounds like a Chris Crack beat or like a Seafood Sam beat or something like that, right? It's got almost like a vaporwavy thing going on.
See, my brain immediately went to like city popish sample bass, but you're so familiar with that genre that am I completely off the mark with that?
I have no idea what the sample is.
Yeah, okay.
And those things are all so tied together, right? The vaporwave, the plunderphonic, city pop, like all these things. It's all kind of tied together in this weird postmodern bubble that we're in. But
I could just see it as like a bridge to like some Japanese city pop track.
Oh,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah. It reminds me of fucking like one of the old like PlayStation 1 fucking racing game type of like
a Ridge
city
Racer,
but like the city ones where it's like look like a little fucking 32-bit joint. But it's dope. Like the next joint, Lucy. This beat, you guys recognize that, right? Like it's so there. It's so fairly easily recognizable. Like my mom or my dad would be like, "Word," but the flip is so subtle and it just like. And it's not all psychedelic, but all of it has like this strange cohesion of entering like a place of like weirdness.
And just again, like the length of the measures is very inconsistent because you have a chop that's like 4 beats and then he'll just like let the sample go for 8 beats and then he'll go back to a 4 beat. This one's one of the more simple, like straightforward ones on the album, but like, you know, he's not like subdividing the beats or doing weird polyrhythm shit like he does on some of the Bloom, I should say, does on some of these other tracks. But like, yeah, every time it's like, again, it's very easy to find the pulse on this because you've got the little hi-hat there.
Yeah.
But like, when the strings come in, like it's like you don't know. Like sometimes it comes straight in, sometimes it comes in a little later. Like it's phenomenal, phenomenal stuff.
It's strange time. It's almost Dilla-esque in the way that he's kind of like having a weird count in his
and it feels like a meaningful evolution of the Dilla formula, unlike so many of the producers who have come since, who have made like who have just been like, all right. So Dilla did everything with like a 1/16th swing, and now we're going to put a 1/16th swing on everything, and now that's just a pre-built-in feature on GarageBand, so you can literally click a button and then the drums just sound like Dilla. There's a make it sound like Dilla button on GarageBand.
Yeah, man. Buy that Dilla drum pack, buy that sample pack, buy all that.
Buy the new Jabez sound pack.
Man.
Like, it's sick.
But this joint, Exhaust, it's probably one of the more like accessible joints.
Yes.
My mind glide like Clyde Drexler. Start testing the sky's limit. See if I find forever. The universe provides. Been building up a divine
Leisure. That shit is hard, bro. When pressure applied, my mind glide like Clyde Drexler. Start testing the skies to see if I find forever. The universe provides. Been building up a divine ledger. Yeah, fucking hard. The joint with Grape God, old Grape God on it. It got like Scooby-Doo fog on it. That one is one of the songs I find it more difficult to go back to because like the safe everlasting page-long candy coat of the other songs and the fun psychedelia. That's like the bad part of the acid trip for me, to be honest with you. Yeah,
I feel you.
But it's also hard. It's also dope too. A black hole where the heart sits, catharsis. It's ill, bro. Soul in a box, bars. It's not the tools, it's the user. There ain't no heart in the computer. Fucking Yo OG is so. Hold on. As I jump.
Battles.
Yeah, Yo OG is so hard. I advise you guys to go check out Yo OG. I've been kind of keeping it. You know, I haven't spoken about him on the show before, except for maybe when he first reached out and just said peace. But yeah, he's fucking ill.
So persevere, uphold no limits, working, enduring the criticism.
What is it that came out earlier this year? This Too Shall Pass came out earlier, and it's got Buddy Not Bud on it, and that just dropped, I think. So go check out those projects. Maybe if I remember picture on the screen, but I don't be remembering. What do we got else? See,
you play the Shamar joint. This is the closer of the streaming version of the album. The Bandcamp version has a few other tracks on the end, but I think this is probably the official ending to the record.
I love that fucking horn chop. It kind of reminds me of like old Mike shit.
Yeah,
like Big Mike, you know, like MIKE, uppercase, all caps Mike. Like it reminds me of like Warren My Pen era kind of like type of Mike shit, but it's fucking ill. And Shamar, man, he hits.
Days in them hallways had me stretching thin. Rain check, see niggas getting drenched off that wet again. Fall back just to understand where the lesson ends. Sections banned by the pressures that the world adds on. Backbone strong, our mamas was Atlas with the path gone. A tattered home, but the love, it lasted on. Stop passing down the trauma through realizing what's wrong. My mind in the song, my soul barren, it's been getting fire drawn. Heart beating on my sleeve, bleeding, just leading.
I'm ill, bro. I downloaded the album to my burner phone. so I do have the new joints on it too. Which is interesting because one of my favorite songs on the album is Resurrect B / Soul in a Box. I love that beat so much. I want to give our man Shamar a little bit of play here though, because Fire Des.
Oh, I mean, like if there's like two MCs that I have to like put on my secret house like fantasy football draft for like
dark horse pick,
this guy's up next, like Shamar,
Samundi.
Samundi,
Shamar,
like,
Nakama.
Like, yo, if you don't know about these cats, like,
bro,
get on it. Trust.
Pay attention.
Pay attention.
Shamar, Samundi, Nakama. They all New York cats.
Hey,
They all New York cats. Yeah, welcome back. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Real
we
hip-hop,
East Coast now.
Dunny. Yeah.
A West Coast cat and a British cat in Tokyo, but we're New York now.
Stitching first name transmutations and
Shouts out PTP.
was never about individual tangibles I'm living. What needs explanation ain't my responsibility. Catharsis not a solution to wounds, but we still
Yeah.
embrace with a saline taste.
Shamar.
Yeah, she's
Check out.
incredible.
We did a review of a project he did with
Actor.
Child Actor earlier this year. Pay attention to that. One of my top song of the year, right above one of the songs on a new mock, is a Shamar Sunmundi track.
Yeah.
But so I want you guys to pay attention and do a thing here. Go to the Bandcamp. We've got a couple extra tracks on that, maybe 3 or 4 extra tracks on that for this album, and I think that they're phenomenal. This song,
SleepSinatra1.bandcamp.com.
link in the bio.
Link in the bio.
But this joint right here, this beat is like a sitar-y kind of whatever. I hear Sunmundi on this shit, hella heavy.
Yeah.
And I would love to. Yeah. This sound like it could be like a joint from fucking the Sunmundi Clown Cat type of beat, and it's just, you know.
Settle my sin with broke glasses. Karma better than a toe tag, still in the traffic.
Bro, soul classic. Sat on my sin with broke glasses. Karma better than a toe tag, still in traffic.
Hot.
What you got for favorites on this one, Jet?
Ooh, we're gonna go with Forensics. I don't know if we talked about Forensics, but we're gonna go with Forensics. We're gonna go with All This Grief featuring All Great God, and we're gonna go with Tombs featuring Shamar. That's my three.
I'm going Resurrection B, this joint right here. I'm going Tombs, Origin. Let me just stop at 3. It's a great album. It's a fantastic listen, even if you're not really into this type of vibe. It is an experience. It is something you should pay attention to. Keep rocking with independent, underground, abstract, experimental hip-hop art. Actually be a part of a culture, be a part of a subculture, contribute to relevance, read theory. I want you guys to go check out all of the people that support us. You see this posted in the background. Noname Book Club, we're patrons for them. Call Out Cultures, we're patrons for them. Rap Music Plug Podcast, we're patrons for them. So when you guys put your money into here, some of that money goes directly to those guys. The Sonic Cloth, also Caltrops Press, which has some of the best, most interesting,
the best
esoteric
writing out
in
there
hip hop right now. I want you guys to go support all these people. Extraordinary Rap Podcast. This is where the shit is emerging. We ain't like the regular other reviewers, y'all. Pay attention.
My compadres.
Still in traffic.
Greatness, no replicated mass.